Angelique Lazo, and this is In Person. To help us understand the challenges and realities behind the country's road clearing operations, we are joined in person by Mr. Gabriel Go, Task Force for Road Clearing, Head of the MMDA Special Operations Group. Magandang gabi sa inyo, Chief Gab.
Magandang gabi po, Miss Angelique. I hope you're doing well.
Yes, and thank you for joining us tonight. So ano po ang mga masasabi natin pangunahing layunin at mga responsibilidad po ng MMDA Task Force for Road Clearing? So as the name says, ano? Talagang pang-clear ng mga lansangan na marami pa obstruction.
Well, for one, when we say road clearing, it encompasses just cleaning and clearing the roads. It also denotes discipline, order in the society, road safety. So maraming mga aspeto yan. So when we say road clearing efforts, andyan na yung removal of illegal parking, removal of sidewalk obstruction, at ang pinakalayunin niyan is to ensure there is mobility on our roads, mabawasan ang traffic congestion, and ang pinaka-importante dito, maibalik ang bangketa sa ating mga pedestrian or mga taong bayan.
At maibalik din ang kalye sa mga motorista.
Correct.
Okay. Marami sa mga operasyon ang nauuwi sa komprontasyon sa publiko, at iba niya nag-viral na in the past. And paano niyo po pinapangalagaan ang kaligtasan ng ating mga tauhan sa MMDA habang tinitiyak din na naipatutupad ang ating mga batas?
Well, for one, sabi nga natin, ang batas or the law is harsh, but the implementer has the heart. So merong puso pa rin naman ang enforcer natin eh. But then again, ang nagiging problema kasi natin, bakit nagkakaroon ng sagutan to the point minsan, in the past, may mga instances may nasasaktan, may mga enforcers kaming nasusuntok. So there's refusal eh. Hesitant tayo, kahit na alam nating mali yung ginagawa natin, but at the back of our mind, matagal ko nang ginagawa. So ngayon, ang nangyayari dyan, pag pinipilit natin baguhin, syempre, may konting ano yan.
May resistance.
May resistance. Ang isang sasakyan mo na naka-illegal park, let's say on the street, hahatakin ng tow truck. Ikaw bagong gising ka, bababa ka, naalimpungatan ka. Your initial reaction would be, magagalit ako, magugulat ako. So, yung what we're trying to do here is, pag medyo nagkakainitan na, we always try to put ourselves in the shoes of these people. Kaya lagi natin nakikita, lately, kung ang napapansin mo ang ginagawa po namin, we try to talk to these people. Okay, sige, nagagalit kayo. Oh, wait lang. We will implement the law, we will implement the rules and regulations, but sige, ipapaliwanag ko muna sa'yo. Until such time na maging klaro sa'yo, malinawagan ka, or let's say magkaroon ng linaw yung misunderstanding mo, we proceed with the towing. Although, there are times, or there are a lot of times, na pilit pa rin talaga na nakikipag-away yung mga violators natin. But at the end of the day, sabi nga natin, yung safety ng ating mga enforcers. So, normally what we do, pag nakikita na namin medyo aggressive na, that's why we always have the cooperation and collaboration of other agencies such as LGU, barangay, and of course, ang ating kapulisan.
Yes. Wala bang warning? Kunyari, wala bang sinasabing, okay guys, meron tayong may operation dito bukas, so clear up? Or talagang nagkakagulatan na lang? O pag sinabi nyo kasi may warning, they will not park for that particular day, but they might come back another day.
Well, Angelique, alam nyo ang problema sa warning, it defies the purpose of the clearing operation. Kasi the reason why we conduct clearing operation is para maialis natin yung harang or yung mga nakahambalang. Kung bibigyan natin sila, let's say, ng announcement na, today magkakaroon ng clearing operation ng MMDA, alisin nyo na ang mga nakaharang sa bangketa or sa kalsada. Pagdating natin, wow, ang linis. So it defies the purpose. Then after ng clearing operation, we will report na, okay, yung complaint natin sa area na to, malinis, walang obstruction. So, ano nagawa natin?
But was it accurate?
Wala.
Diba?
Is it accurate?
Oo.
No. Kasi the following day, may mag-report that, sir, nagbalikan. The reason behind is, kasi may nag-a-announce. But then again, Yung mga illegal parking, yung mga pagharang sa mga sidewalks natin, I don't think warning is kailangan pa. Kasi unang-una, there are signages that states no parking on both sides. Pangalawa, meron tayong Republic Act which indicates kung saan ang mga areas na bawal pumarada. But then again, babalik tayo. We go back to the basic. Kaya lagi ko sinasabi, paano po kayo kumuha ng lisensya? Nag-seminar ba kayo? Nag-training ba kayo? Nag-exam ba kayo? If you answer with a yes for all the 3 questions, ibig sabihin, alam mo na yan. It should be basic knowledge.
Alam niyo, may kasabihan na abay, pinabili lang ng suka, pagbalik nagda-drive na. Ibig sabihin, may lisensya na. So in other words, talagang may mga kababayan tayo na hindi dumaan sa proper training, hindi sila nag-aaral, wala silang mga driving skill tests, But how did that happen?
Well, alam nyo, ang problema kasi natin, a driving test or an examination, it should be something that we really have to take it seriously. Bakit? Ang pagmamaneho sa kalsada is not a game. It's not like a game in a computer na you can just push off a button, turn left with your joystick. Hindi. When we drive outside or on the road, there's always the stake of a life. May buhay lagi yan Sa driver, you personally, may buhay ka. Pasahero mo, may buhay yan. Mga kasama mo sa kalsada, may buhay yan. So, we're not playing games about life So, yung pag-e-exam, bago kumuha ng lisensya, dapat it's very rigid yan. Ang nangyayari kasi, tulad nga sinabi nyo, bumili lang ng suka, pagbalik, nagmamaneho na. Now we go back to the question. Yung mga simple traffic rules and regulations, kung those simple things pa lang, hindi na kayang sagutin at hindi na alam, what more yung complexity of driving a vehicle? So doon pa lang, malaking issue na yan And in the past kasi, marami tayong mga issues. Well, personally, we've encountered sa operations po namin na pag na-flag down mo ang isang sasakyan, or let's say isang motorcycle rider, hindi niya alam kung anong violation niya. Imagine that. Isang motor, isang rider, nasasalubungin ka, pag pinara mo, tatanungin ka pa niya, bakit mo ko pinapara? Well, in fact, he is not wearing a helmet. Nakatsinelas
So,
siya.
hindi malinaw sa kanya yun?
Hindi malinaw. So, minsan makakarinig pa ako, bakit? Kailangan ko pa ba mag-helmet? So, with those simple, wag na nga natin puntahan yung violation Pag-usapan na lang natin yung safety aspect. Doon na lang hindi nila alam. What more if we go to a more higher level of driving skills, like driving in a highway or driving on a highway, driving a four-wheel vehicle. So, yung exam na yan, we should look at it as seryoso tayo. And maybe it's about time na talagang paigtingin na natin yung mga shortcuts, yung mga hindi dumadaan sa seminar, nakakakuha ng lisensya, because we are playing games with lives How many thousands of people loses their life just because of tragic traffic accidents?
Yeah. So ano yung pinaka madalas na o karaniwang uri ng mga paglabag na obstruction na hinaharap ng inyong clearing operations? Yun na nga, sabi nyo nga kanina, sabihin nila, harap ng bahay namin yan How do you argue with that? Kung talagang kinasanayan niya na nagpa-park siya doon araw-araw.
Well, for one, ang mga kalsada natin may nakalagay na signages. And signages are there for a purpose. And that is to follow it. So ngayon, sasabihin nila sa akin, hindi ko alam na hindi pwedeng pumarada dyan. But well, in fact, pag tumingala ka lang, makikita mo yung signage nakalagay, no parking. So, I think that's already a clear sign of either we blatantly just disrespect the law or talagang we just want to do whatever we want to do. Like, sinasabi nga natin, madalas sinasabi ng mga illegal parking violations or violators natin, labas ng bahay ko yan tapat ng bahay ko yan. Bakit bawal kong paradahan? For one, there should always be a sidewalk. So ngayon, kung ang sidewalk na yan ay sasabihin mo sa akin ay parte ng property nyo, sige po, we'll give you a chance. Prove it na, i-prove nyo sa amin na it's part of your property kung titulado yan sa inyo. If it's not, then it's government property or it's public property. So when we say it's public property, it's for the use of everyone. So ang mga sidewalk, hindi yan private property na pwede yung parkingan ng sasakyan. The purpose of a sidewalk or yung easement is to have a safe passage ng mga taong bayan. Kung ito mawawala pa, edi what more, no? What more yung hihingiin nating disiplina sa kalsada? Aksidente, may mga nahahagip. The mere reason is because meron pong nakaharang sa sidewalk, kaya I have no choice. I have to walk on the street kasabayan ang mga malalaking sasakyan. Bakit nahagip yung bata? Kasi po naglakad sa kalsada. Bakit hindi po sa sidewalk? Sir, paano po maglalakad sa sidewalk? May tindahan po, may sasakyan na nakaparada, may tricycle na nakaharang. So now, we throw the question back to them. Paano pag yan ang nangyari sa inyo?
Paano kung anak niyo yan?
Paano na lang kung anak niyo yan?
Ang nasa nahagip.
Yes.
So you have to appeal to their sensibilities. Alam niyo, yung madalas din nakikita natin, and this goes viral din, is kapag merong clearing operations, tapos kino-confiscate yung mga paninda ng mga malilit nating kababayan na talagang nandun yung kanilang mga puhunan na madalas inutang pa nila, hindi pa nila nababayaran. And yet, we see napupull away or kino-confiscate, sinasakay sa truck. Ano mangyayari dito sa mga confiscated
In the past, there are a lot of clearing operations na makikita natin prutas, sinasakay, gulay, sinasakay. But kung titingnan natin, those are obstructions kasi. They're all considered nuisance. But on my end, when I took over the operations, isa naging prinsipyo ko or naging patakaran ko, as much as possible, let's not confiscate yung mga gamit na may puhunan. Yung mga nabubulok. Gulay, prutas, pagkain, paninda. Why? Sabi nga natin, karamihan dyan inutang. Karamihan dyan baka hindi pa bayad. Yung iba dyan baka sa 5-6 pa nga kinuha. Diba? So, ako ang patakaran ko or yung prinsipyo ko dyan, is we leave those items to them. I confiscate the table, the chairs, the cabinet, whatever obstruction is there. Kung may kailangan akong gibaing pader, gigibain ko yan just for the sake of having a clear passage for pedestrian. Pero yung mga paninda, iniiwan ko sa kanila.
And of course, dapat coordinated ito sa local government units, especially mga barangay officials.
Correct.
Kay Kapitan, so kamusta po ang koordinasyon ninyo?
Well, coordination with the LGU, maganda ang aming koordinasyon because we really enjoin them. Kasi nga sinasabi ko, we cannot do this alone. If you're just gonna implement this on the national scale or national level, sa laki ng Metro Manila, we cannot do it alone. Kailangan natin ang collaboration. At tinatawag nga natin, whole government approach.
Yes.
So every concerned agencies should be there to help us implement, observe, and andyan na rin yung pagbabantay. That's why as much as possible, we always enjoin the barangay, local traffic bureau, the LGUs. Whatever we see na problema sa kalsada, sa sidewalk, ang lagi namin sinasabi, pag-usapan sa barangay, baka matulungan kayo ng barangay, baka matulungan kayo ng LGU. And at the same time, kung anumang assistance, let's say, sa mga vendors na lang, bigyan sila ng temporary place or a space that where they can sell their products na hindi sila matatakot na dadating na yung clearing operation. Any moment, dadating na si Gab, andyan na yung clearing operation, magtatakbuhan. So, bigyan sila ng ganong assistance. But, there's a big but there. It should be in line with our national policies. So, pag sinabi natin, hindi pwedeng harangan tong area na to, hindi pwedeng harangan. Pag sinabi natin national road or let's say Mabuhay Lane, walang parking, dapat walang parking. It should be in line.
Okay, wag po kayo nga alis dahil sa ating pagbabalik, tatalakayin natin ang mga hamon sa trabaho pa ng mga operatiba ng MMDA at ang totoong mukha ng serbisyo sa kalsada sa pagbabalik po yan ng In Person. Bumalik pong in person, kasama natin ngayong gabi si Ginoong Gabriel Go ng Task Force for Road Clearing ng MMDA. Okay, pag-usapan natin, Gab, ito, madalas nating makita ang mga tauhan ng MMDA, ayan, bilad sila sa araw, sila rin yung bilad sa ulan, kumbaga sala sa lamig, sala sa init, ano, at minsan nga, nanganganib pa ang kanilang buhay sa operasyon, lalo na kapag very violent, ano,
Yes.
yung reaction sa kanila ng may-ari ng sasakyan, hindi lamang sa pagpo-post sa video kasi 'di ba that can be a form of violence, 'di ba?
Yes.
But at the same time, yung talagang merong physical danger sa inyong mga tauhan. Anong mga malalaking hamon ng grupo ninyo araw-araw?
Well, physical danger, parang araw-araw yan, nasa kalsada na para sa mga enforcers namin. You've seen enforcers hanging on the hood of a vehicle just because of tinatakasan niya ang isang ticket ng illegal parking, which is worth 1,000 pesos.
As in like clinging siya dun sa
Yes.
wood and he could easily fall off and
Yes.
break his body, no?
Personally, I've seen my men na nakaangkla na yung tow bar sa ilalim ng sasakyan na naka-illegal park. Biglang dadating ang may-ari, i-start yung kotse, ipapasok sa loob ng gate. At yung crew namin nasa ilalim nakakaladkad.
Pwedeng makaladkad.
Nakaladkad.
Oh my.
It's just lucky enough na yung crew na yung mabilis ang pag-iisip,
Nakaikot.
pagkaladkad niya, nabitawan niya yung bakal. So pag hindi niya binitawan yun, dalawa na lang ang
Sabit
option
siya.
yan. Either putol ang daliri nun,
Oh my.
pag putol ang kamay nun. There are so much, parang, I would say, yung immediate kasi yan yung reaction ng mga tao na hindi nila naiisip na a violation is something that you can pay, but yung babanggain mo ang enforcer, tatakbuhan mo ang enforcer, kakalad ka rin mo ang enforcer, issue threats to these people, tanggalin natin ang uniforme. Tao pa rin itong mga to. They have feelings, they have emotions, they have families to feed when they get home. And this is just their job. Kasi we've experienced, they provoke our enforcers to the point na papakita nila, meron silang gamit sa loob, meron silang panaksak, ipapakita nila doon sa gilid ng kotse, they have a gun, just to intimidate our enforcers. Kung hindi naman, to the point na talagang harsh words na minsan di mo maiiwasan na magiging emotional din yung enforcer. So, ang sa akin lang, ang sa amin, ginagawa namin ang trabaho namin. It's not just for the sake of gusto kitang matikitan, gusto kong matuwa ang kotse mo. No. Sana we have to think outside of the box. Palawakin natin ang ating pananaw. Bakit kayo hinuhuli? Bakit kayo tinatanggalan ng obstruction sa bangketa? So go back tayo dun sa sinabi ko. Put yourself in the place of these people. Kung kayo, naka-illegal park kayo, tapos yung anak nyo maglalakad dun sa kalsada or maglalakad dun sa sidewalk na hindi niya malakaran, and in return, mahagip yun, I'm pretty sure hindi ka papayag na mayroong nakaharang sa sidewalk na sasakyan. So it's always about acceptance and realization na yung akala nating tama, akala nating pwede, baka naman there's something to, huwag natin isipin na baka na mali. Maybe we can improve on that.
Okay. Paano pinapangalagaan ng MMDA ang mental health at moral ng mga kasamahan ninyo sa trabaho sa kabila nga ng mga negatibong komento, pagbabatikos ng publiko, at yun din yung threat sa kanilang buhay? Mataas ba ang attrition rate? Yung bang mataas ba yun? Mabilis ba ang turnover ng mga tauhan ng MMDA?
Well, most of our men or most of our enforcers, ang tatagal na yan sa ahensya. We have people 15 years,
So,
20
matibay
years.
sila.
Yes.
Okay.
And we still have enforcers coming in na 2 years pa lang. Minsan nga meron ako mga tinatanong pag nalipat sa unit ko, why did you choose MMDA? Actually, yan yung lagi kong tanong. Pag merong bagong lipat, gaano katagal ka na sa MMDA? 2 years po. Bakit mo pinili ang MMDA? Kasi ako...
Bakit nga?
Well, sige. Ako kasi bakit ko pinili, no? Initially, it was coincidental. coincidental ang pagpasok ko sa MMDA. My background is consular and diplomatic affairs.
Ang layo naman.
Malayo.
Pero may diplomacy.
Yes, may diplomacy. Saka meron tayong
Okay.
international relations, international
Yeah,
law,
but still,
politics and governance. So, medyo andun pa rin siya.
Meron.
Andun pa rin. But siguro as time went by, ang na-realize ko why I chose MMDA is because one, I have this vision na gusto natin ng pagbabago, we start from the street. Bakit? We go back to the early 80s, 90s. Ang kalsada is a place where people can interact. Social interaction. Nakikita natin ang kapitbahay natin, our kids enjoying the company of other kids. Bakit ngayon nawala? It's because there's no order. And I have this vision na pwede tayo maging progresibo, but at the same time, we can bring back the old times of the streets being safe. Not just for us, no? Not just for us adults, but also for the next generations and the kids.
May order sa
May order.
lansangan.
Actually, hindi na nga Kaya ang sabi ko, there should be order and discipline. Yan ang mahalaga.
Okay. Anong pakiramdam ninyo na parang kayo, no? At ang MMDA ay balakid. Di umano sa ating mga kababayan na naghahanap buhay nga sa kalsada because they just want to make a living, no? And they can appeal to the MMDA operatives by saying the same thing na ano naman, maawa naman kayo sa amin. Kapiranggot lang naman ang aming kinikita dito.
True. Actually, ang problema natin sa mga sidewalk obstructions or mga vendors, we have to juggle between yung economic status nila and yung pagpapatupad natin ng batas. But it cannot always be, merong mas malamang. Kasi when we talk about order in the society or order sa ating mga kalsada, it should be balance. Balanse, ang mga tao, ang mga kababayan nakakapaghanap buhay ng maayos. At the same time, people can walk freely, safely. They can get to public means of transportation efficiently. Kasi ang means ng kalsada is, ang kalsada is para sa sasakyan. Ang bangketa ay para sa tao. So, it should be a balance between that Kaya nga lagi natin sinasabi, yes, hindi namin kayo pinipigilan magnegosyo. We are not stopping you from doing business, conducting whatever business that you want. But not at the expense of hampering the convenience of other people. Kaya lagi natin sinasabi dyan magtinda po kayo dyan, wag na kayong lalagpas dito. Yan ang pakiusap namin. We give them advice, we guide them, but unfortunately kasi babalik na naman tayo sa sinabi ko kanina, nakasanayan.
Kanina nga you were saying to appeal to them kung ano yung mga personal matters that will affect them kung sakali man they put themselves in the shoes of a victim na nakagip sa kalye. Bukod doon, ano pa yung mga paraan?
Simple lang. Lagi tayo may hinanaing. Matraffic, walang malakaran, nade-delay ako papuntang trabaho. Tanungin mo sarili mo, bakit ka nata-traffic? It's because you yourself, you are doing something wrong as well. We've encountered several instances, nagrereklamo yung motorista, may nagrereklamo sa isang kalsada, punong-puno ng illegal parking. Pagpunta ko doon, true enough, accurate ang report. Malalaman ko, yung complainant, siya rin naka-illegal park.
Ay! Nagko-complain siya pero violating.
He is complaining na punong-puno na illegal parking, pero nung dumating ako, inoperate ko, magugulat ako 3 sasakyan sa kanya na naka-illegal park. So, yun Gusto natin ng pagbabago. But us, ourselves are, I can do it. Others cannot do it. So, andyan pumapasok yung entitlement.
Yan.
Sila, irereklamo ko. Kasi nahaharangan ako Kasi nauunahan ako sa parking slot ko. Well, in fact, pag chinek mo, bawal naman palang pumarada. Walang ordinansa. Walang approved council, city ordinance. So yan yung very simple. Lagi kong tinatanong.
Change has to be demanded from all, hindi lamang iilan.
And very basic, no? Even we were in high school. If you want change, start from yourself.
Be the change.
Be the change that you want.
Yes, okay. Ano kaya ang mga training na ginagawa rin ng MMDA bilang capacity building na ipinagkakalob ninyo sa mga miyembro ninyo sa task force para mapaganda o mapabuti pa ang kanilang serbisyo at pati na rin ang kanilang kaligtasan?
Correct. We have continuous traffic education. Meron po tayong TED, our Traffic Education Division, which conducts different trainings. Andyan na po ang traffic management skills, andyan na rin ang communication skills. We even have emotional intelligence training for enforcers or even us officers. We do conduct such trainings.
How does that work?
Well, may mga workshops kaming ginagawa. We have GAD training, which is gender equality. We also have data privacy training. So we equip our enforcers with all the basic and even comprehensive knowledges that they can use when they're out in the field.
They don't go out cold na parang walang blank slate.
No. Lahat po yan dumadaan sa training. Especially enforcers. Kasi ang enforcers, before you get your UOVR or yung tinatawag nating ticket, you have to undergo a seminar at mag-e-exam ka pa. Pag hindi ka pumasa sa exam na yun, wala kang paniket. So, technically, hindi ka pwede manghuli. Doon ka lang sa traffic management. So, kung gusto mo manghuli, you have to study, you have to review, kailangan mo mag-exam. And of course, hindi lang naman sa ating ahensya or sa MMDA alone. We also have yung mga Civil Service Commission trainings natin or mga seminars, which the agency is very supportive. If you think that you want to enroll, you want to attend such seminar, the agency is very supportive.
At least it's available.
Yes.
Tututukan naman natin ang mga proyekto ng MMDA, pati na rin siyempre ang pagdidisiplina sa mga tiwaling mga miyembro ng task force sa pagpapatuloy po natin dito sa In Person.
Kwento ng Bay, kwento ng bayan, Philippine Baywatch.
Lagi niyo akong kasama sa paghatid ng kwentong may puso at may direksyon.
Bayan kong mahal, sa'yo ang aking lakas.
The water in the huge impounding area.
Pag-asa ng bukas.
Nagbabalik po in person. Kasama pa rin natin ngayong gabi si Ginoong Gabriel ng MMDA Special Operations Group. At ito nga po, papaano po dinidisiplina yung pong mga MMDA enforcer na medyo abusado rin naman sa kanilang trabaho. Meron nga po mga iba na nahuhuli kahit wala daw pong violation at madalas nasasabihan sila na wala namang alam daw itong traffic enforcer na ito sa MMDA. But you were telling me na they go through rigid trainings, right? Pero what about those who really, di ba, they accept meron silang mga kalokohan?
It's a very, very Actually, I really like that question. Kasi ako, as a person, with what I'm doing right now, I consider myself, syempre, public servant tayo eh. So as public servants, we have to be at least a better example. We may not be the best because there's no such thing as perfect eh. But we can be a better example. And I'm very particular pagdating sa mga ganong aspeto. I always tell our men, gusto nyong respetuhin kayo? Gusto nyong mabago ang pananaw ng publiko sa inyo? You start now. Ipakita nyo sa taong bayan na yes, there may be some who are, sabihin na natin sa masamang salita, rotten eggs, but mas marami sa mga enforcers natin, hindi po sila yung akala nyo na sinasabi natin, yung iba they accept bribe, some of them initiate the bribe. Meron tayong mga issues na nakikita on social media, nag-aabang, madaling araw. Well, hindi naman natin pwedeng tanggi because it happened or it happens. But, especially right now, no, under our chairman, he is really particular about this stuff. Hindi niya tinotolerate kasi nga, we are in the enforcement level. Ang gusto natin, disiplina. Gusto natin baguhin yung mga maling ginagawa ng mga motorista, yung mga maling ginagawa ng taong bayan. Pero, tayo mismo nakikitaan tayo ng pagkakamali. Yes, we cannot be perfect pero at least, uulitin ko, be better examples. Kaya pag kami ngayon, may nahuhuli kaming mga tulad yan, who accepts bribe, they initiate it, may pagkakamali, agad po yan kino-call attention, at hindi lang po basta-basta call ang attention nila. There are times na talagang, well, in my own unit, I've experienced personally my own men. Ako pa mismo ang nagreklamo. Why? Kasi, under my watch na nga, binabantayan na kayo, gumagawa pa rin kayo ng kalokohan. Diba? So, na-warningan na kayo, I gave you a chance, kasi lahat ng tao may pagbaba, lahat ng enforcers, lahat ng tao, we give them a chance to perform. We give them a chance to prove themselves. And kung meron man silang ginawang mali in the past, we cannot just judge them based on their past. Kaya nga, binibigyan ng pagkakataong magbago. Pero kung hindi kayo magbabago at tutuloy-tuloy nyo pa rin ang ginagawa nyong mali at masama, definitely, it's either you get out or you face the consequences.
Meron bang strike 3? Or after the...
Before nung I took over about 2 years ago, may warning yan. Warning, second warning. Pero ngayon, one strike policy tayo. Pag may mali ka, automatic report yan. Either you get suspended, mababaan ka ng administrative case, bigyan ka ng kaso. It all depends. But, binibigyan pa rin naman natin sila ng due process. But right now, we are very particular sa imahe. Kasi marami tayong ginagawang maganda at maayos. So, it's very sayang, kung masisira lang yung mga ginagawa nating maayos at magaganda, kung sisirain ng iilang mali or may kamalian na ginagawa. So, we have to, kumbaga sabi nga nila, bago mo ayusin ang labas, ayusin mo muna ang nasa loob.
Ang sariling bakuran.
Correct.
Ayun, okay. Sa tingin niyo po ba, dapat na rin isa batas na dapat meron pong parking space ang isang presidente bago siya magmay-ari ng sasakyan? Kasi pinag-uusapan din ito sa Kongreso. And I think this should also apply to motorcycles, at pati mga e-bike.
Dapat. Remember, ang mga sasakyan, these are prized possessions. Vehicles can go up to the cheapest vehicles right now, 700,000, 900,000. Still, binibili natin to gamit ng pera, hard-earned money. So, as a car owner, kumbaga pag sa lisensya, may responsibilidad ka. Pagdating sa pagmamay-ari ng sasakyan, you have a responsibility also. And hindi lang responsibilidad na make sure na roadworthy yung sasakyan mo, but also you have the responsibility to ensure that your car will not obstruct or hamper mobility ng ibang tao. So, I'm very much inclined na dapat, bago tayo bumili ng sasakyan, we have to ensure first na meron tayong tamang parkingan. At ang kalsada is never a garage.
Okay. Nabanggit natin ng e-trike, may mga e-trike na gumigitna at tumatawid sa Commonwealth. Tanungin ko na rin ito, particular sa may area ng bandang Litex hanggang Sandigan Bayan. Bakit daw po pinapayagan ito?
Well, the e-trikes kasi, kumbaga, majority of it, dumami yan during the time of pandemic. It was a very, very good source of alternative transportation nung pandemic. That's why nabigyan ng kaunting konsiderasyon na meron silang certain routes that they can traverse. Kasi dati, nung pandemic tayo, ang daming bawal Social distancing, ilan lang pwede sa sasakyan, ilan lang ang pwede sa loob ng bus. So, it's very inconvenient for people. But now kasi, we slowly went back to the new normal. Actually, not went back na We have a new normal. Our lives are getting back to normal. Ang mga sasakyan, volume malalim na sasakyan. So, we have to adapt to the current situation. And yung sinasabi natin, bakit pinapayagan, case in point dyan sa kahabaan ng Commonwealth, which is a very wide highway. Meron po sila mga certain provisions coming from the local government unit na pinapayagan silang tumawid.
Ayun.
But there are big chances or there are a lot of chances na naaabuso.
Ayun na.
Pag naaabuso yan, dyan natin makikita yan. No? Makikita tayo ng, hindi lang sa Commonwealth, even in EDSA, makikita natin dumadaan e-trike, e-bike, the big e-bikes. So, ano yan ang pagpapatakbo kasi ng sasakyan or mga e-bikes or mga e-trikes na yan, we have to consider them as vehicles also. Bakit? May makina. So they are motor vehicles. And once you operate a motor vehicle, you should be eligible enough and capable enough to operate these things.
Licensed.
You should have proper training. Alam mo dapat road courtesy. Alam mo dapat yung mga basic knowledge
Sino may right of way?
Sino may right
diba?
of way?
Naintindihan ba natin kuminsan kung ano yan?
Naiintindihan naman po natin ang right of way. Ang problema lang, lahat tayo sabay-sabay ng right of way.
Right of way. Okay, what about yung mga menor de edad na nagmamaneho ng mga e-trike or mga e-bike? Obviously,
They're not allowed.
They're minors. They cannot even
Correct.
get a license.
You are not allowed. You are not allowed to operate motor vehicles. Yun nga lang kasi, sa batas po natin, there's no evident or concrete guidelines yet when it comes to the regulation of e-bikes, specifically the smaller e-bikes. Supposedly kasi yung mga e-bikes na yan, especially the stand-up scooter ones, it's for recreational purposes
Tsaka pangloob lang ng subdivision or
yes.
mga corner stores, pag ganun.
As I said, napagbigyan lang po yan during the pandemic. But now, the environment is a different scenario. We have to improve yung mga pinagbigyan nating regulations na dapat mai-adapt na sa current scenario. So we have to look into it and maybe it's about time na hindi lang po i-regulate at hindi lang pagbawalan, but maybe it's about time we come up with licensing procedures for these people who operate electric bikes, electric tricycles that will be used on public roads.
Ayun, okay. Meron bang mga bagong teknolohiya, meron bang bagong strategiya ang MMDA na ipinatutupad para mas mapabuti pa ang pagmomonitor ng mga kalsada? Of course, we have that the no contact apprehension policy or NCAP, pero outside of that?
Yes. We have a state-of-the-art command center which is equipped with high vision cameras, high definitions.
As in talagang resolution kahit
As in
madilim?
high resolution.
Wow. So, kita na lahat.
Dumaan ka sa EDSA, pag zoom in po namin yan, kita namin ang plaka.
Oh my.
And to the point, we can even see if the tint is not that tinted, we can see
The driver.
The driver.
At kung may yung tinitingnan niya yung cellphone
Yan,
niya.
nagsa-cellphone, ADA.
Patay
Yes.
tayo dyan.
Yung
Oo.
mga ADA na yan, yung mga Anti-Distracting Driving Act.
Yes.
We can apprehend them. And aside from that, meron din po tayong tinatawag na mobile command center. So our mobile command center, we can bring it anywhere. Let's say, meron pong gaganapin na napakalaking event. We can bring our mobile command center there.
Complete with monitors.
Complete
and
with
all.
monitors. We have our drones. We have our AI cameras. We have interconnection with, of course, with the PNP, LGUs. So it's very state of the art. At hindi lang po yan, we continuously develop. So, case in
And
point,
upgrade the system.
yung mga traffic lights po namin,
Tinanggal niyo na yung yung
countdown.
countdown.
It's because hybrid system na po kami. Kumbaga, yung system ng traffic light po namin, it can automatically identify at certain times na kailangan ba ilang segundo lang yung red? Or it can also adapt, adaptive siya. Na pag itong intersection na to, kukonti lang ang sasakyan nakakaliwa
At this time of the day?
time of the day, pwede niyang tagalan yung green light ng other bound.
Ayun.
Pag kailangan bilisan, it will automatically
So, parang may
adjust to it.
AI application. na rin.
Yes.
Oo.
Saka meron lang in-adapt ngayon yung blinking.
Gusto ko rin yun.
Actually, it's very, it's very
Very
effective. Kasi before, pag may countdown, ganito yan eh. Pag may countdown, pag 5 seconds na lang, sasabihin ng driver, 5 seconds na lang. 5, 4, 3, 2, bilisan mo. Pero ngayon, pag blinking, green pa lang. Nag-blink yan, humihinto na. Kasi nga, bakit?
Because of the NCAP.
Because of the end cap. And aside from that, may ano kasi yan eh, yung sa visual ng tao. If we see something that blinks, it catches our attention eh.
Right.
Parang ilaw lang yan eh. Pag nag-blink ang ilaw, alam natin, oh, wait lang. Mukhang may power interruption.
Oo.
So ang traffic light, pag nag-blink na yan, parang it sends a message, signals to us na you have to pay more attention. Rather than numbers na pababa ang countdown, it sends a signal to us na kaya pa eh. Malayo pa sa zero. Habulin ko.
Yung no contract apprehension policy, itong NCAP, sa tingin niyo ba epektibo ito na paraan at nakakatulong din na masolusyonan ang trapiko, lalo na sa mga kalsada sa Metro Manila?
Yes, it's very helpful. Bakit? Actually, late na nga tayo eh. Kasi
Sa ibang bansa
sa
ba,
ibang bansa, matagal na ang no contact apprehension. It's very helpful in such a way na mas naging sensitibo ang mga motorista. Kasi simula nung nalaman lang may no contact apprehension, ayoko mag-left turn kasi mamaya magulat ako, meron na akong ticket sa bahay. So may takot. It sends fear. Then at the same time, it creates discipline and order eh.
So, kunyari, nagkaroon ka ng violation, hintay mo na lang ba?
Hihintay mo. You may check it
how
online.
How do you check it again? How do you access?
Well, you go to the My Huli Ka app or you go to My Huli Ka online on any web browser. You type it in. It directs you to our website. You just input the plate number or the vehicle number of yung sasakyan nyo. Lalabas na yan kung meron kang violation. Tapos pag natanggap nyo po yung NCAP, ngayon naman, pag nakita nyo may violation ka, hintayin mo na yung NCAP ticket mo. Pag dumating yung NCAP ticket mo, and like, for example na lang, you committed a violation na, let's say, you think na mali ang pagkahuli.
You can contest
You
it.
can still contest it. Pero isa rin itong development sa aming ahensya. You do not need to go to our office. Online na lang din ang pagko-contest.
So very nice.
In just a
Very
few
convenient.
seconds. Very convenient. Even the resolution is very convenient. Padadalang ka na lang po.
Okay. Alright, halimbawa, isa pang halimbawa. Nahuli ka sa Quezon City dahil nga number coding ka, no? And then of course, pumunta ka ng iba pang lugar. Kasi hindi ka pa tapos eh.
Yes.
Destination mo, let's say San Juan or Makati, nahuli ka ulit doon ng camera. Will you get penalized twice?
Okay.
Ma-fine ka ba twice?
If it's the same violation in a day, hindi siya magkakaroon ng patong-patong. Hindi magpapatong-patong yan. Like for example,
Minsanan lang.
Yes.
Per violation?
Yes. If papasok po yan sa system namin eh. Once na na-NCAP ka na, let's say for coding, pumasok sa system namin kaagad yan. At sa kabilang kanto, yun ulit ang violation mo. Hindi na papasok yan. Isang violation ang papasok. But, nahuli ka sa isang kanto ng coding, when you reach Quezon City, nag-left turn ka sa no left turn. Pagdating mo ng Pasay, you cross the red light, beating the red light. That's 3 violations.
3 different violations.
Yes. Doon pumapasok yung sinasabi ko before na tuloy-tuloy yan. If you commit different violations in different roads or different cities na may NCAP kami, walang malabong baka 10 ang violation mong
Kumanda
NCAP.
ka na. Okay, ito naman, no? Kasi may mga windows ang iba't ibang mga lungsod.
Yes.
But not all the cities in Metro Manila have the same window. Ang Makati, for instance, pag sinabing number coding ang 1 and 2 on a Monday, walang window yan, dire-diretso. Bakit ganon? Bakit parang hindi unified yung ating sistema? May kanya-kanya pa rin
Well,
tayo.
ano yan eh.
Oo.
Kasi the LGU, there's what we call as the local government code, which the local government has the authority to, kumbaga, to conduct or even come up with
With its own
policies that are beneficial to the city itself, no? But dun po tayo babalik sa sinabi ko kanina. All policies should be in line with the national kumbaga the national laws. So that's something na kailangan din natin tingnan at kailangan nating suriin para magkaroon po tayo ng unified kumbaga unified status sa ating mga kalsada. That's why pumasok na rin po ang tinatawag natin single ticketing system ng MMDA, which it aimed to unify all violations. So kung ang mga violations maaari nating i-unify, maybe some policies
In time.
we can unify them also in time.
Soon enough.
Yes.
Sooner than later sana.
Soon.
Okay. At huwag po kayong bibitiw dahil meron pa tayong mga karagdagang tanong sa huling bahagi po ng ating panayam sa pagbabalik ng In Person.
Diskateng pangkabuhayan ba ang hanap mo? Magnegosyo na sa agrikultura gamit ang makabagong kaalaman. Mag-agri tayo. Baki Workshop na dito sa katuwang nyo sa paghahanap buhay. PTV.
Nagbabalik ng In Person. Kasama pa rin po natin ngayong gabi si Ginoong Gabriel Go ng MMDA. At kanina nabanggit po ninyo that iba yung inyong background. Yung inaral ninyo has to do with international relations, with foreign affairs nga ba? Anong nagpa-inspire sa inyo para pasukin ninyo itong particular area na ito ng public service?
Well, something that I always believe, anything that happens to you or anything that comes to you, it happens for a reason. Hindi naman natin, lalo na when it comes to public service, hindi naman lahat ng tao nabibigyan ng oportunidad na maging serbisyo publiko. So I think this opportunity was given to me, and kumbaga probably may may mission kung bakit napunta ako dito sa MMDA at bilang isang public servant. Yun nga kasi nakikita ko I'm very much, kumbaga lumaki ako sa kalsada rin I grew up in Binondo, in Divisoria. I walk the streets. So, I'm very much particular na nakita ko kasi unti-unti na yung mga problema natin, the bigger problem can be resolved sa kalsada. So, if we want a very progressive or we want a progressive status sa ating mga syudad or sa ating mga kalsada, kailangan natin baguhin
Meron ka bang pinakamahalagang aral na natutunan sa iyong karera so far, para maipatupad itong disiplina at yung pong kaayusan sa ating mga kalsada?
Well, for me, probably the best lesson na natutunan ko, or unti-unti pa rin, tuloy-tuloy, kasi when you're on the street, continuous on learning When it comes to enforcement, continuous on learning. But probably one thing that I would say, kahit anong gawin natin, if hindi natin itutuloy, there's no point.
Kung half-baked lang.
Kung half-baked ang gagawin natin. And if we're going to stop just because we cannot satisfy everyone, which we cannot do that. You do something right, someone will criticize you. You do something wrong, people will criticize you. You don't do anything, mas lalo na, people will criticize you. Diba? But then again, sabi ko nga, ito natutunan ko. I accepted the fact that I am now a public servant. So I have to accept the fact that people will probably be negative about what I do. They will criticize what I do. But at the end of the day, if you know you're doing something right, you know you're doing something for the better good or the common good, what will stop you?
So hindi niyo pinapansin yung mga bashing, let's say yung mga cyber bashing?
Sanay na ako Hindi, but ang akin kasi if we will always wait for someone to do this, kailan pa. Probably, I may not be able to change it 100%, but at least I was able to partake a percentage or a part of it na sana matuloy natin. And para syempre, sa ating mga future generations.
May nag-advise ba sa inyo? Kasi ito madalas sinasabi ng lola ko noon, magbiro ka na sa lasing, wag lang sa bagong gising. Madalas yung operations ninyo kasi madaling araw, yung bang talagang kakadilat lang ng mga tao. Tapos ito na, yan, tinotoon na yung kanyang sasakyan. So talagang gera, di ba?
Parang gusto ko baguhin ng konti yun.
Oh, sige.
Huwag ka magbiro sa lasing, huwag ka rin magbiro sa bagong gising. Hindi kasi, I've encountered several instances, no? Bagong gising, galit na alimpungatan. Normally what I do is, sabi ko sa mga enforcers, take it slow. Hayaan nyo muna. Pag nagagalit, let them vent out. Vent out. Huwag nyo sasabayan.
Air
Minura
out.
kayo, hayaan nyo lang sila. Pag medyo nagkalmado na, kausapin nyo na, Sir, pasensya na po. And a very magical word. Ikaw ang may mali. Yung violator na nga ang mali. Tayo na humingi ng pasensya. Kasi automatic yan eh. Sir, pasensya na po. Pero kailangan po namin kintikitan. Sir, pasensya na po. Relax lang po muna kayo. Ipapaliwanag ko.
At dapat laging magalang.
Magalang,
Okay.
yes.
So may mga lumilipas na threats, Pero paano na kung yung threat talaga medyo, natapos na, natapos na yung operations ninyo, pero ito pa rin, meron pa rin pagbabanta. How do you handle that?
Well, so far, I'm very thankful naman, na wala namang yung mga ganong scenarios.
That's good.
But, if we're gonna talk about threats, marami. Marami. But, yun nga kung papansinin natin yung mga threats na yan, then, what will be our purpose? Takutin ka lang, ayaw mo na, alis na tayo. So, what will be your sense? Kumbaga, anong sense mo sa life that I chose right now? Kung matatakot na lang ako basta-basta. At least, deep inside, people appreciates not only what I do, but what we do as an agency, but also people see the betterment of it. Yun ang na lang. Kumbaga, yun na lang yung icing on top. Na meron nakaka-appreciate at natutuwa sa ginagawa namin.
Okay, so sa tingin ninyo, ano yung mga mahalagang bagay na dapat maunawaan ng publiko tungkol sa inyong trabaho, sa MMDA at sa inyong task force?
Siguro maikli lang paalala ko dyan. It's not about the violation. It's not about towing your vehicle. But it's about having discipline, safety para sa ating mamayan. We have order in our society. Kasi yan ang magiging susi sa lagi nating inaasam. We want to be a developed country, a progressive country. So if we want to achieve that, we start with the simple obeying the traffic laws and regulations, respecting the law, and be more sensitive of the people in your surrounding.
Ayan. And with that, maraming salamat, And ang aming panalangin ay patuloy yung inyong pagbabalanse rin, ng pagpapatupad ng batas at yung puso rin para sa mga mamamayan, na apektado po sa mga ginagawang clearing operations ng MMDA. Thank you so much.
Maraming salamat po. It's an honor to be here. And syempre, ang layunin lang naman po natin is maging maayos.
Ayan, yung po ang pagbabahagi sa atin ngayong gabi ni Ginoong Gabriel Go, ang Task Force Head ng Road Clearing ng MMDA Special Operations Group. Muli, maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat po.
Discipline is not just about following rules. It's about respect. Respect for the law, respect for order, and respect for one another. Sa mga kalsada ng Metro Manila, ang pagbabago ay nagsisimula sa ating mga sarili. At yan po ang tunay na mukha sa likod ng mga balita at mga isyong pinag-uusapan, matapang na humarap at nagpakilala. Ako po si Angelique Lazo at ito ang In Person.